Months after the International Labour Day was observed in Nigeria on May 1, 2016, the agitation of the Nigerian worker continues to resurface like a recurring decimal in a reality that foretells untold hardship and frustration. It's question time. Welcome to the program. I'm Ngige Ashiru. You may also join in this conversation by sending us your comments on our various social media platforms showing on your screen. With the hard economic conditions caving in heavily on the Nigerian worker, how does it break even in the face of increase in the price of premium motor spirit, rise in food prices, increase in electricity tariff, and inflationary pressure, with the banks merely gasping for breath and laying off its workforce? Can an 18,000 naira minimum wage take you home? This sad reality brings the fate of the Nigerian worker to a breaking point. How can one explain the wide disparity in the wage bill of the Nigerian political office holder? How can the Nigerian government demonstrate it has the interest of the Nigerian masses at heart? Channels TV crew met with the Minister of Labour and Productivity, Senator Ngige. He assures Nigerians that the federal government economic plan portends better days to come. Honorable Minister of Labour and Employment, Senator Ngige, thank you very much for joining us on this episode of Question Time.
Thank you, Wenga. Thank you.
The theme for the 2016 International Labour Day, which is on the working class and the need for social economic revival. How relevant is this theme to the Nigerian context?
The Nigerian working class did not make a mistake. The theme is apt because it really runs in consonance with the manifesto of my party, the All Progressive Congress. Whilst we were campaigning, we did promise the Nigerian workers that we will give them prosperity, we will give them better working conditions, and all this is in conformity with the ILO, International Labour Organization, team for workers to have decent jobs. And by you getting a decent job means you get a job that the milieu where you work, the environment is friendly. You have time for recreation, you have time to be cared for medically. You get equal pay for equal job.
But the reality is quite different from what the Nigerian workers are facing. They are complaining about the harsh economic conditions, from the rise in the cost of electricity, the cost of food, rents, and so many things. Even the cost of oil, which is the mainstay of this economy.
Of course, yes. The harsh reality is not our own making, it's not that of the government. We have enunciated in our manifesto and campaign promise what we wanted to do. There is an economic downturn, which everybody knows is the prevailing situation now. We are a mono-economy country, with all our earnings based 90% or 95% on oil earnings. And the price of oil has rolled over, got to say, not dipped. If you say dipped, it's a small phenomenon. But we have a situation where oil that was selling at $105, $115 a barrel suddenly dropped to $35 a barrel, $30 a barrel. So our earning as a country was cut down by about 70%. And in such a situation, what do you expect? There must be some belt tightening. But the government did not despair and put out our hands up and say, oh, we are helpless, want to wallow in self-pity. No. We put on our thinking caps, and in the 2016 budget, you will have noticed that the government wanted to drag the country out of depression. We didn't want the country to go into full depression. Not at all. So, for the first time, we cut the recurrent expenditure down to between 65% and 70%. We brought in a capital expenditure budget proposal of 30 to 35%. And because the situation was that we wouldn't earn, we were ready to borrow to reflate the economy, because you must put money into the hands of people.
1 year after, the federal government is still struggling to find its feet, bearing in mind the promises the federal government has made to Nigerians. Are all these economic explanations tenable or acceptable to Nigerians?
It is acceptable. It's what you call a fait accompli situation. We didn't have a choice. We tried to get the price of oil shot up. The president undertook a lot of diplomatic and economic shuttles, including to Saudi Arabia, including to the Gulf states, of Qatar and others, all of them oil producing. And that is even why you can see the stabilization we now have in that area, even though the price is not too high, but at least it's down inching towards $45 a barrel and hovering between 45 to 40 and just on a band. So the government has done that. And like I told you, we also have so many intervention products to sell to Nigerians.
Is the federal government bereft of ideas because this intervention has not been felt by the masses?
We understand, we know the rough times. There's no way things will not be rough by this time of the year when you have not put in some money down the line. Construction has to go on so that construction workers will earn more, take their normal pay, take overtime pay, take extra work pay. People who are doing government supplies will also go into the markets and buy, and the traders and those who are doing the supplies will replenish their stock, and then the people who are doing government work as civil servants will start earning money around the clock too.
Many Nigerians feel disappointed about the president's absence from the May Day celebrations, and they feel that he scorned the opportunity to show gratitude for the bulk of votes he enjoyed at the 2015 general elections.
No. He made the forum for showing appreciation to Nigerians. It's not.
But wouldn't that have gone a long way to show that the president identifies with the plight of the Nigerian workers?
I was there, and I read his speech. I represented him, and the workers who saw me, at the leadership, they were happy because the representation was good. We know that subsequent May Days, that the president will try to be present and identify with the workers in solidarity with the May Day. Then the president is Nigeria's #1 worker. We are all workers too. We are working for the people of Nigeria. So I don't think it calls for any raising of eyebrow. Or no. The government is a government that is labor friendly. And that is why we had 2 ministers here. The president thinks highly of the workers and thinks highly of the Nigerian youths and thinks highly and is disturbed that after corruption is employment that is taking the center stage here in Nigeria. So he wants us to fight both corruption and unemployment. Unemployment is a major scourge. It's like I said, after the scourge of corruption, employment is next. Unemployment is next.
You may also want to join this conversation by sending us your comments on our various social media platforms showing on your screen. Coming up on Question Time. What palliatives is the federal government initiating to cushion distressed companies from the harsh economic conditions? Find out from the Minister of Labour and Productivity after the break.